Okay, so now we have our students facing each other. One has gloves and the other side has pads. We've properly prepped them by having the partner A learning their strikes and partner B holding the pads. So now they're going to face each other, respects Y. They go into their guard stance. And before they do the whole combination, if this is the first time that they are actually experiencing the striking and the pad holding, they're just going to start out with just the jab with reps and begin. So as you're doing that, whether or not the pad holder is holding and calling every single time there's a strike, or the instructor is actually calling out the jab every single time, they're still learning how to advance, slightly retreating as the pad holder, making sure that they're breathing right through their teeth, and making sure the height is appropriate using the 2 knuckles. Now they're going to be doing the jab cross. Ready and begin. Same thing, both sides are breathing, both sides have the exact same aim. If there's any challenge, the striker should not hit if the pad is held wrong. This is a common mistake for beginners. Whenever there's a pad open, they decide to hit it. Always communicate or encourage communication for your students at all times. Now they're going to be adding the left hook and begin. Notice, especially on that left hook, you'll notice the pad holder slightly swivel onto the shoulders for protection. And at the same time, the striker isn't just pivoting the foot, they're doing 3 separate steps. Step, step, step. And time. So as we try to graduate and get a little more confidence in our students, one of the things the pad holder is also doing is learning how to get desensitized from the strikes. Remember, the strikes are never actually hitting him, so they should never hold the pad while closing their eyes. The next part is going to start simply off of the return left hook. So the pad holder is actually going to left hook back, and the other side will actually cover, coming back with their left hook. So we're just going to stick with that by itself. Begin. Now every time they rep this out, it will always be the lead hook, or for the pad holder, it's the left hand. Obviously, if you have some southpaws, you can reverse it for them, you can adjust it for them. A lot of people ask me, how do you hold for people who have different stances, if one side's a righty and one's a lefty? Whoever is the striker, you will hold appropriate for them, at least in level 1. Time. Now we're going to add one more strike. We're going from the left hook, high cover, returning the hook, and right cross. Go. 1, 2, and right cross. And they're going to rep that over and over again. Again, the biggest mistake that happens within the students is once they cover, they do the left hook, they don't know how to advance. So make sure that that pad holder draws backward and gets a little bit of space. Now we're going to finish it with the final left hook and begin. Excellent. There's breathing on each one. There's stepping on each one. And even though the striker is hitting with their hitting hand, the opposite hand that is not hitting will always return back to home base, which is to provide for protection to the head. Rest time. Now we're going to put everything together in a drill fashion. Our drill fashion is going from the very first technique all the way to the end without stopping. Once you're done, you could actually circle and have the other side continue the same way. So they're going to their guard stance. They're starting from their very first one, jab, cross, hook. They're going to return, high cover, and hook, cross, hook. Once they're done, they can circle. The reason for the circling is just so that they don't run out of space. So they go once again, jab, cross, hook, cover, hook, cross, hook. They retract back or circle as they make up the space. Remember, as they circle, they'll be going through a fighting measure distance. I have a separate video just on fighting measures, so please check that out. Let's see it one more time. Jab, cross, hook, cover, hook, cross, hook, and time. Feet together, respects, and Y. In this final video for our class day, this can be reserved for people who have done this rotation before, since they need a little bit of practice and mental concentration for this. The students will face each other and respects Y, go into their guard stance, and this is what we call our progression style drill. So from the progression, they're going to actually strike one at a time, adding each time. So in our normal drill, we went one after the other, back and forth, back and forth. Here you notice that they're progressively adding one more technique before the last. What you notice a little bit different from here is when they actually did the block or the return hook, you didn't stop on the block. You always have to stop on a strike. So as they go back and forth, jab, jab, cross, they're adding one more, so there should be a hook. Now when he adds the actual return hook, they don't stop. He must add that last strike. So the gloves will always be the last one hitting. And time. Y.